Hey guys, good morning.
Wonder Woman made her first appearance in DC Comics back in the 40s with All-Star Comics. She left Paradise to fight evil, and since those early comics, we've seen Diana Prince take on Maxwell Lord, Cheetah, and even Ares, and so many
and
more.
Cersei,
but has she ever
about
taken
her.
down her own teammates? That's the million-dollar question. Yes, she most definitely has. Welcome back to Top 10
Batman has
I'm your
too.
host, Taylor McWaters.
Here
are the top 10 most powerful superheroes
series
who lost to Wonder Woman. Let's do it. Kicking off the list at number 10, Superman. We'll kick off the list with some mind-controlled madness here. We always love those. In part 1 of the Superman sacrifice storyline, Maxwell Lord had Superman thinking he was fighting Doomsday, but in reality he was fighting his own friend, Diana Prince. Now Superman does seem to do most of the damage here, but only because Diana was strategically using her lasso against him in hopes to cancel out the mind control. She had her wrist broken during this altercation, but eventually she realized the only way to stop Superman was to take out Maxwell Lord instead. But if she had not taken down Maxwell, she for sure would have won against mind-controlled, dare I say, messy Superman. She slashed his throat at one point and was still holding back. What a ride. Number 9, Green Lantern. Hal Jordan is one of the most powerful members of the Justice League. His ring allows him to get a lot done, but how does it hold up against the might of Wonder Woman? In the New 52, the team aren't exactly close yet. They have their arguments, you know, it's realistic. They didn't know each other too well, so it makes sense. But in Justice League issue 11,
Wonder Woman sets out to take on David Graves. Steve Trevor's there, and Diana plans on taking off Graves' head. So Green Lantern steps in with other ideas. He insists that this is a job for the League and not just for her, so she should back down, or at least include them. She says no to both options. So Green Lantern uses his ring to hold her back, and after Diana demands to be let out, he responds with no. So she breaks out of the ring's construct and throws Green Lantern around for a few pages. She actually tries to use her sword on him at one point, believe it or not, but luckily Superman grabbed it mid-swing. That was a close call, Diana, a little too close for comfort. And before we continue with this list, if you want to go ahead and give us a thumbs up, that would be awesome. It really does help us out here on our channel, and then in turn we can bring you all the nerdy goodness and put it back into your eyes. Thank you so much for your support. Now let's get right back to this list. Number 8, Power Girl. In Wonder Woman issue 41, A Murder of Crows Part 2, we see Power Girl and Wonder Woman go toe-to-toe. This nightmare becomes reality when the son of Ares, the Crows, turns superheroes against Wonder Woman, including Power Girl. At the start of the comic, Wonder Woman even acknowledges that this isn't going the way she thought it was. She's getting quite a few hits from Power Girl. Now, it's fun to watch. I mean, Power Girl literally punches Diana so hard that she ends up in Canada, which is amazing. Karens are tough. She's probably the toughest Karen out there. I would say so. But Wonder Woman quickly reminds herself that she too has super speed. She's good, but she's no Amazon. Number 7, Supergirl. Hell on Earth is a Superman storyline beginning with Superman Volume 3, Issue 13. And as the title suggests, Hellspawn arrives to Earth and kicks Superboy and Superman out of the Fortress of Solitude, so now they need help from the Justice League in stopping him. Hell's idea here is to go back in time and prevent the destruction of Krypton, but in order to do so, our solar system will be blown to smithereens. Nice. Hashtag not so great. Supergirl is on board with Hell's plan to, bring back Krypton, so Wonder Woman knows that she must stop her. Diana reminds her that strength is not simply about force, but rather from studying your opponent and how they fight. She continues to tell Kara that she fights like a child, wasting energy and lashing out. That's a pretty harsh burn. So Diana ties her up then with a lasso and hopes that Supergirl can learn from this. Closely matched in strength and speed, but not experience. Number 6, Batman. On screen we saw Batman and Superman go at it. It was a good time, but we have yet to see Batman fight Wonder Woman. And that's probably for the best. In Wonder Woman, Hypatia, released in 2002, during this storyline, Batman gets on Diana's radar after somebody Wonder Woman was in charge of protecting turns out to be a criminal in Gotham City. So Batman has a few choice words to say. That's his city and he handles the crime around those parts. Diana disagrees, so now we get a heated exchange. Lucky for us, it's pretty epic. Batman throws a batarang and Diana catches it. It's always an entertaining dynamic when two superheroes have different plans. Now, the only way for Diana to stop beating down Bruce was for Batman to tell her that she's straight up won. He surrenders, which is insane. The cover of the story is actually pretty spoilery. It shows Wonder Woman's foot on Batman's head, which we don't see play out until page 93. But it's still worth the read nonetheless. Check it out. Number 5, Mera. Returning to the Flashpoint universe for a hot minute, where Wonder Woman is now an oppressive queen of the Amazons, the way she rules over them is dark. It's cruel. It's nothing like how we know and love Diana now. So naturally, her combat skills share a hint of evil as well. She's one of the two main villains in the 2013 animated film Justice League: The Flashpoint Paradox, and it's here where we see Diana and Aquaman fall for each other out of nowhere. Aquaman's wife, Mera, is of course hurt during this, as she witnessed this affair go down, so she approached Wonder Woman and was like, "Hey man, not so cool what happened there with you and my husband. I don't know, let's talk about it." Wonder Woman responds by taking her head clean off. Her body was then later sent to Aquaman as a gift, and then of course a massive war began.
I think I heard
this
that
is incredibly dark, but most things in the Flashpoint universe
one of them said Mera
are.
attacked her. She
kept
had to defend
Mera's
herself.
crown too.
Yeah, if that's true, Mera
Mera
had no right to attack Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman had to defend herself.
Issue 2, Captain Atom is keeping Superman busy. He's holding the god down by using his nuclear energy. And he's actually doing a pretty decent job here, I'm not gonna lie. The Pentagon thinks that Nathaniel can take Superman on, but he's never tried to before until now, because he knows, he follows orders, unlike some other gods. It's a heated exchange, but it comes to an explosive halt once Diana enters the scene. Right before Captain Atom is about to punch Superman's head right off, Wonder Woman uses her sword to slash at his throat. He's standing there afterwards, but everybody knows what's about to happen. He has more power in him than 10 nuclear bombs, and her magic sword just breached the one thing that contains it. So he decides to take Superman with him as he flies off and explodes in space. Number 3, Huntress. Back to the Injustice timeline yet again. Looking into year 3, issue 21. The world is far from bright. Superman is hurt, so Huntress believes that this is the perfect time to take a crack at the son of Krypton. Batwoman is also there, so the two of them perform a well-choreographed cranial kick, and down he goes. They genuinely have him on the ropes here. It's looking good, but then in comes the bestie Wonder Woman. Not on her watch, oh god. Diana explains how fighting for a lost cause doesn't make you a hero, it just makes you foolish. Huntress responds with, "Well, we'd rather die fools than belong to a tyrant," and then Diana makes that a reality by cracking her whip around Huntress's neck and giving a mighty tug. She got Gwen Stacy'd by Wonder Woman, guys. That's brutal. She says she didn't mean to, but at that point, it's far too late. It doesn't matter. Number 2, the Justice League. Perhaps one of the best victories here has to be the time Diana blindfolded herself in order to take on Medusa. Yeah, you heard me. Shut your eyes for this one, folks. This one goes down to Wonder Woman and Eyes of the Gorgon, beginning in Wonder Woman Volume 2, issue 206. Diana is challenged to take on Snakehead Sally over here, so at first, she blindfolds herself, obviously. But when the blindfold comes off, she needs a new plan, so she improvises and uses one of the snakes from her head that had been severed off, and she uses its venom to blind herself. That's one way of not looking. She takes down Medusa blind. It's actually really impressive, but it only gets better. A couple of issues later, Diana, still blind, begins training with the Justice League. They need to know she's still a formidable member, so like the final scene of Dodgeball, she wraps up her eyes, and so it begins. Plastic Man, The Flash, Black Canary, Martian Manhunter, even Batman comes in at one point, all racing towards her, and she takes them all on. Superman even fires a gun at her, like, okay, but she deflects it, no sweat, still blind. How impressive is that? And finally, coming in at number 1, the Justice League, again. Another one, here you go. Yeah, it's pretty common for superheroes to think about taking down their own teammates. Batman did it in Tower of Babel. He had all these plans just in case anybody on the team went a little psycho. And then in JLA, A League of One, Diana has to face a similar situation. The story begins with a flashback to 1348, where the evil dragon, Dracul Carfang, has started wiping out villages. Now, the only way to destroy said dragon is, of course, to get to its heart. How soft and lovely. Soldiers reach the dragon's lair, fail at killing it, obviously, so then they just blow the entrance apart and seal it in forever, until, you guessed it, today, present day. So the rules with how to defeat this dragon are complicated, because it can only be taken down by members of the Justice League, but in turn, it would take them out in the process. So Diana figures out this wild loophole and takes the team down herself in order to protect them. Yeah, hear me out. She traps Martian Manhunter in a volcano, she throws Aquaman to the fishes, hilariously, he gets eaten by a sea monster, and then she beats up Batman and the Flash. She also steals Green Lantern's ring, which is just rude. She handles Superman as well by sending him away on a fake mission in space, so he's just away, not even involved. And then she handles the dragon with her lasso, almost dying in the process, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Even if that includes throwing your coworker into a sea monster's trout. What can I say? That's teamwork. Teamwork makes the dream work. Guys, those were just 10 superheroes Wonder Woman has taken down, but before you leave, share some thoughts down below. Which fight is your favorite? Which ones should we throw into a part 2? Let us know in the comment section down below. I've been your host, Taylor McWaters. Keep on being you, and we'll see you next time. Later, dudes.
You beat up Superman. That's funny. That's real funny.